welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show right here in your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.
And remember, our goal is always to guide you to personal and financial wellness. All right, well, you're back with the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show, and I welcome you to check out the show at donandgino.com. There's a 7-year catalog of all of our shows, and you'll find our guest who's here with me today, Mr. Bob Kellar, a regular guest of the show, and always enlightening us on what's happening in Santa Clarita. And you wonder why we have somebody that's a figure in Santa Clarita always on a real estate and finance show, and sometimes we forget to mention that you own a real estate company, Bob.
Yeah, I do, absolutely.
And he's got 3 offices in Santa Clarita, so there's no one better to actually talk about real estate than someone that owns a real estate office and has how many employees there? How many realtors?
I've got about 38 right now.
All right, so that's 38 people telling you what's happening on the street.
I just do like I'm told by a variety of sources.
Yeah, well, I do that at home, that's for sure.
But that's first place.
Yeah. So that's why we have Bob on, and Bob also keeps us in the know of what's happening at the city. And today we've decided to take it a little bit more global and talk about economic policies and things of that nature. And where we left off was we were talking about doing the right thing and not socializing everything and not letting not being lax about the laws in this country, and making sure that we kind of keep what made this country great and not let that deteriorate. And as we were on the break, I was talking about, I have 2 unique views that of what I think are very liberal, one liberal country and one liberal city. And I think of one of the most beautiful cities in the world, 15, 20 years ago, one of the greatest cities is San Francisco.
Yes.
What a great city, right? I mean, beautiful, the water, the Golden Gate Bridge, just a great place to vacation and visit and eat. I mean, who didn't like eating on the boardwalk there? And I just went back with Taylor and Don, I don't know, what was it, like 4 or 5 months ago, and I don't ever want to go back again. It is that bad. That's how ugly the city has become. That's how dirty the city has become. Their homeless problem is out of control. The streets are littered in, human waste, unfortunately. So, I mean, that's one extreme. That's the total extreme of liberalism is just right here, right around the corner. And it's sad. It's a sad state of affairs. And I don't want to see that happen here. And I'm seeing a little bit in downtown L.A. or North Hollywood. It's starting to spread.
You're seeing quite a bit of it down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Absolutely. I've been obviously throughout the L.A. area on a regular basis. I've been to San Francisco. Everything you say is right on. And how do we stop it?
And that's the thing, right? So how do you stop it? I mean, it's hard to say you stop it through education. I think you have to stop it in each home. I think each home, each parent has to do their job and educate their children in a way that says, look, like we were talking, I don't know if we were on or off the air, but my grandpa worked till he was 78 years old. Well, that's because he had work ethic, because they came to this country, like you mentioned, for opportunity. And that opportunity was only here for hard workers.
That's it.
And that's what it's about. So, and you have to be willing, I hate to say it, but you got to be willing to work 8, 10, 12 hours a day, not 4 or 6. You can't expect a free ride. You have to, we work in our office, the majority of us work 12 to 14-hour days. The ones that are quasi-self-employed, let's call it, the ones that are salespeople and looking to build
producers.
Something. Yeah. And so if you're willing to work hard, this country still has a lot of opportunity for you. I don't know that opportunity will still exist if we try to ride the backs of 5 or 7% of this country. We need 20% or 30% of the country to be willing to work hard. I don't know what the real number is. It'd be nice to say 100% of the country work hard. I don't think that's ever happened. But I think
it basically was in place, though, I will tell you. 75, 80 years ago, it was way, way, way up there. Everybody worked. Okay? Today, not the case. And it goes back to something I mentioned earlier. You deserve. No, you don't deserve. You do not deserve anything other than an opportunity. That you do get. And I think much of these, stop and think about what is going on in leadership. And I'm going to take it at every level of government. And wherein you see things falling apart, as you describe in San Francisco, well, maybe we need to rethink how we're approaching this. Maybe we've been making some bad decisions. Maybe giving everybody a free ride is not resulting in responsible conduct. And maybe we need to rethink how we do all of this. And all we see is more and more and more. All we're going to do is tax, tax, tax more, and we're going to give more like it's going to make a difference. And it's what it's going to do is going to just make that toilet that much more of a toilet.
There's going to be nobody left to tax, is what the problem is going to be eventually.
Well, as they say, socialism, the problem is you're going to run out of other people's money, and that's a reality. It's never, ever survived, but yet we can't seem to be working fast enough to go and become socialist. If anybody would have ever told me there would be a candidate running in the United States of America that was a professed socialist, I would have said you're out of your ever-loving mind. And obviously it happened. And now we've got this lady running for Congress in New York. And you know, she's really got the world figured out, doesn't she? What is she, 23, 25 years old? Give me a break.
Yeah, and you know, so I mentioned the city that gives me a little bit of light, but the other thing that I've got is I've been watching Argentina my whole life, and that's, you know, looking at a country that's run that way. And so I see what's happened there as well. And over there you have basically relatively, I'm going to say it's anarchist. And it's not because there's no laws. There's plenty of laws. There's nobody to enforce them because everybody says, "Oh, you can't hit that person because they're complaining and they're exercising their right to complain and to." But not everybody over there is having a peaceful protest, you know. They laugh. My wife laughs sometimes. She's like, "It's so funny, you know, people protest here in the United States, and we stand on the side of the road, on the sidewalk, with a little sign stating our case." And she goes, "Well, that's cute. You know, in Argentina, they'll block the freeway, light fire to a bunch of tires, and you're not getting through. If you try to come through, we will beat you down." So, you know, it's a little different dynamic on how people protest. And, you know, ultimately, unfortunately, it all comes down to votes. And it's much more popular to say, you don't have to work hard, you don't have to do anything, and you'll be fine anyway, we'll take care of you. It's tough. It's tough. And I get it. They want to be voted in.
But at some point in time, that party will come crashing down. And in many areas, and you've already articulated very well, it's already come down. When people start living in filth and mess and tents and homelessness, like I say, somewhere in this equation, people are making some bad decisions, and they need to rethink how they're approaching their leadership capacity.
So we digressed a little bit.
We did. We were talking about homeschooling.
Let's come back to Santa Clarita.
Let's do it.
What are we doing here to make sure it doesn't happen here? Because I know we've now looked at some opportunities. What are we doing here to make sure that our community stays what it is today?
Well, I will tell you, and we just recently reaffirmed, if you will, some ordinances here in Santa Clarita that simply have put that we will not have certain things happening here in Santa Clarita.
We can't have
people
a pot shop
sleeping.
Here,
right? We're fighting drugs at every opportunity. You do not go and get medical marijuana here. We have no choice. You can grow your 6 plants at your home.
Yep.
Okay, but that's about the extent of it.
But that's fine. That's not commerce.
It's not intended to be for commerce.
Yes.
But trust me, if you think that's 100%,
it's not.
It's not. Yeah. That's for sure. But the other side of the coin is, we will not permit people sleeping on sidewalks and flower beds in our public places and going and sleeping in our new $30 million library and things of this kind.
Okay.
And you know what? Yes, we need to maintain a standard of conduct for all people. And, you know, there's a lot of hardworking families out here. And why should they be deprived of a responsible, clean, and wholesome area in which to raise a family and work and do all of the things that we know that are value for all of us? But and by the way, we had people coming and complaining that we reaffirmed these statutes here in Santa Clarita. If we don't, I'll tell you what, that's how you become a San Francisco. If those people really think that's a beautiful way to have society, well, do me a favor, move to San Francisco.
Yeah,
and other areas of similar nature. But here, we are going to continue to fight the fight to have a wholesome, family-oriented community. And it's, you know, I'm so delighted we have Catherine Barger as our supervisor, because I'm telling you, we work with that lady hand in hand. As you know, we're completely encircled by the unincorporated area. But the truth of the matter is we are fighting hard and working hard to maintain this city to be a high standard for all of our families and throughout the Santa Clarita Valley. And so far, we've been very fortunate. But I will tell you, it is an ongoing battle. As a gentleman came to me the other day, and he said, well, Councilman Kellar, why do we not have a gentleman's club here in Santa Clarita? I said, well, of a form we do. He said, well, I don't know where it is. I said, it's over there. It's called the 5 Freeway. get on it and head south. You'll find one somewhere down there. But you see, when you open up and start catering to these types of businesses, it's only a matter of time. It's the broken window concept, and it applies 100%. So stand by, because I tell you, it's going to come apart when you quit paying attention. That's why we try and keep the graffiti completely outside of this city. We work together on having responsible schools. We work very hard, keep supporting our law enforcement community so they can go out here and protect our families. And hopefully we will continue to be a great place to live.
Well, I think it's a great place to live. I wouldn't take my family anywhere else. I thank you for coming on the show. I thank you for your service. And we digressed a little bit today, and Don would be like, oh, you didn't follow the format, and I like it.
When you have me back, I promise we'll just talk about real estate.
All right. Well, thank you, and you stick around. We'll be right back. We have more to talk about on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on this beautiful Saturday.